Hello and welcome back to another video where today we will be going through what exactly is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. So Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which from the rest of this video I would just be calling Intergrade, was initially announced at a State of Play back in February 2021. Prior to this there were a few leaks and rumours saying that a PS5 version would be coming, and obviously it came true back in February of 2021. Okay, so let's start off with a question that is fairly easy to answer, and that is the release date. The release date of Intergrade is actually June 10th, 2021, which is not too long away, and as the day I'm recording this, it's actually just over a month away. So I'm quite looking forward to play Intergrade. Okay, so let's talk about what is some new features in Intergrade. So pretty much Intergrade is an enhanced version of the original PS4 game, and some of the enhancements include the ability to switch between graphics modes. You can either prioritize 4K graphics, or there's a performance mode, which means you prioritize how smoothly the game runs, but you can have it at 60 FPS. There's also a photo mode, but I feel like more games, or like at least newer games, are including photo modes. And myself personally, I don't really like photo modes. I find them a little bit pointless, but I do understand that some people want to take beautiful pictures in games, and I say more power to them, because I have seen some of the pictures that have come out of photo modes in games actually look really good. So maybe I should dabble in this photo mode. But the big thing that you get with Intergrade isn't just visual enhancements to a game that already looked phenomenal. You also get a new gameplay section that is called Episode Intermission, and it sees you playing as Yuffie, and it pretty much sees Yuffie infiltrating Midgar and conspiring with Avalanche HQ to steal ultimate materia from the Shinra Electronic Power Company. And that's all I'm going to say about the plot of Intermission, because I don't want to go into any spoilers. But yeah, we do have some new characters. Like we have some people from Wutai, some new people in Avalanche, but once again I'm not going to say who they are or what they are in case you don't want to be spoiled. But if you watch the trailer, you kind of see who they are. Now, Yuffie isn't just like a palette swap of, say, Tifa, for example. She has a completely new moveset, which I think you kind of expect. And she uses a massive throwing star as her kind of like main weapon, which I think can actually be used in some pretty interesting and cool ways in her attacks. In a clip that we saw in a previous trailer, she was with another character who had kind of like this bow staff weapon, and I think it was a special move where he kind of let Yuffie go on top of the staff and he threw her up, and then she smashed down into the enemy. So hopefully we get to see more stuff like that. And in the announcement trailer of Intergrade, we can see Yuffie wearing a outfit that I believe she wore in Dirge of Cerberus. I've never played that, but with what Square Enix is doing, when they're kind of bringing all of the previous 7 games into one game, which I think is Ever Crisis, which includes the story of Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus, and Crisis Core. So that will be quite interesting when that comes out on smartphones of all places. But yeah, so that is kind of the loose gist of what we will be doing in Episode Intermission. Now recently, I think the other day, it was revealed that when you get the physical copy of Intergrade, the Episode Intermission will be a DLC code, which is fine if you get it physically, but how will you do it digitally? And that leads us on to the next point. And that is, can PS4 owners upgrade to Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade? And the answer is yes, but there is a but. If you paid for the game, like you have a physical copy, or if you have a digital copy that you bought on the PlayStation Store, you can upgrade to Intergrade. And it'll be a similar thing to what happens with like Marvel's Avengers, where if you bought it on the PS4, you were given access to the digital version of the PS5 edition. But if you had the disc version of the PS4 version of Avengers, you have to put the disc in to play the PS5 version of Avengers, if that makes sense. So I'm guessing something similar will be happening with that. And the reason I said but earlier is because if you got Remake as a part of the PlayStation Plus games in March, you will not be able to get the PS5 upgrade, which I think makes sense, because otherwise there would be a bunch of people who got the game free, and it would kind of like a screw to people who actually paid for the game. So I'm interested to see how episode intermission stuff will be handled with the kind of digital upgrade version of the original. And another thing I forgot to mention earlier is you can carry over your progress from the original Remake into Intergrade, but I'm not entirely sure if trophies come over as well. And lastly, will Intergrade utilise the PS5 hardware features? The answer is kind of, as this is pretty much just like a enhanced version of 7 Remake. I'm guessing the main game will kind of be like a graphical overhaul of that, but the episode intermission will probably have maybe like some adaptive triggers and dual sense and stuff like that. But in an interview with Famitsu, the director Tetsuya Nomura said that PS5 hardware, namely the DualSense controller's adaptive triggers, will be one particularly supported with Intergrade, and the fans will have to wait for Remake Part 2 for the full PS5 hardware experience. So that pretty much answers the question. Now, as this game is coming out, I think, a day or two before E3, I mean, PlayStation won't be at E3, but normally they will do like a state of play around that time. Will we see Remake Part 2 announced this year? I kind of hope so. As we know, I think at some point last year, that the Japanese mocap actors were actually mocapping the game. So hopefully we get like some like tease or just something to say, yes, this game is actually coming. But that's all I have for this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and the links to all my social media will be in the description below, and I will see you in another video.